Bhaktir Bhatinashti Hari Om Tat Sat. I'll be reading from Caitanya Bhagavat today, the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We'll offer prayers and we'll quickly start 1 minute. Om Ajnanatirandasya Gnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Magayate Girim Petkrupatamam Vande Sri Gurum Devataram Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyeswaram Pancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhupaye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jaya Sri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sri Chaitanya Manavishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamiyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Rupa Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Be reading from Chaitanya Bhagavat. This is Madhya Kanda Part 3. Wandering about Navadvip on the day the Lord delivered the Kazi. This is the chapter title. Jaya Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Guna Nidhi Jaya Viswambara Jaya Bhavadhira Vidhi. All glories to Sri Krishna Chaitanya, the ocean of transcendental qualities. All glories to Viswambara, the controller of personalities like Lord Shiva. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Priya Dvijaraj Jaya Jaya Chaitanya Bhakta Samaj. All glories to the beloved Lord of Nityananda and the best of the Brahmanas. All glories to the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Enamate Navadvipe Prabhu Viswambara Krida Kare Nahe Sarva Nayana Gochara. In this way, the Lord Viswambara enjoyed pastimes in Navadvip that could not be seen by everyone. No one is eligible to see all the Lord Viswambara's pastimes. One is only able to see the pastime that he is qualified to see. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated, Mallaram Asantir Brunam Naravara Strinam Smaro Muktiman Gopanam Swajano Asatam Kshiti Bujam Sasta Swapitro Sishu Prutyor Bojapater Virat Avidusham Tatvam Param Yoginam Vrishninam Parat Devatet Vidito Rangam Gata Sagraja. The various groups of people in the arena regarded Krishna in different ways when he entered it with his elder brother. The wrestlers saw Krishna as a lightning bolt. The men of Mathura as the best of the males, women as Cupid in person, the cohort men as their relative, the impious rulers as a chastiser, his parent as their child, the king of the Bhojas as death, unintelligent as the Supreme Lord's universal form, the yogis as the absolute truth, and the Vrishnis as their supreme worshipful deity. So different devotees saw Supreme Lord Sri Krishna as differently, depending on their I should stop sharing. Further we'll continue. Dine Dine Mahananda Navadvipa Puri Vaikuntha Nayaka Viswambara Avatari. Day after day, the abode of Navadvip became filled with ecstasy because of the presence of Viswambara, the Lord of Vaikuntha. Priyatama Nityananda Sanghe Kutuhale Bhaktata Samaj Nija Nama Rase Kile. Accompanied by his beloved Lord Nityananda, the Lord engaged in the pastimes of releasing his own names in the association of devotees. We will see further. The association of devotees is the key. And who is the Vaishnava? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is personally instructing. Pratidina Nisa Bhage Karaye Kirtana Bhakta Vino Takite Na Paya Anya Jana. The Lord performed Kirtana every night. No one except the devotees could participate. One must be qualified to enter into the association of devotees. One must be qualified to enter into the even the Lord's association. You see. Eta Bada Viswambara Shaktira Mahima Tribhuvane Langite Na Pare Keha Sima. The glories of Viswambar's prowess were so great that no one in the three worlds knew their limits. Agochare Dure Taki Mili Dasa Panche Manda Matre Bale Yoga Kare Yaya Pache. Hidden in the distance, 5 or 10 people gathered together and spoke bad words that would take them to hell. Keha Bale Kali Kale Kishera Vaishnava Yata Deke Hera Peta Kosha Gula Sava. Someone said, what kind of Vaishnava can there be in Kali Yuga? Those Vaishnavas we see are simply engaged in filling their stomachs. Keha Bale Ye Gulara Bandi Hata Paya Jale Feli Diya Yedi Tabe Dukka Yaya. Someone else said, if I can tie their hands and legs and throw them in the water, my unhappiness will be mitigated. Keha Bale Ara Bai Janiha Nishchita Grama Kana Nasta Kaila Nimai Pandita. Someone said, oh brother, know for certain that Nimai Pandit will ruin the entire village. Paya Dekha Yena Sava Deki Bharatare Antare Nahi Ka Bhagya Chaturye Ki Kare. They would threaten the devotees so that they could see the Kirtan. But because they were unfortunate, what could their cunning accomplish? Sankirtan Kare Prabhu Sachira Nandana Jagatera Chitta Vritti Kare Sodana. As the son of Sachi performed Sankirtan, the consciousness of everyone in the world was purified. Dekite Na Paya Loka Kare Anutapa Sabe Abhagya Bali Chadaye Niswasa. Ordinary people lamented because they could not see the Kirtan. They sighed deeply and considered themselves unfortunate. Kehava Kaharo Tani Parihara Kare Sangope Sankirtana Giya Deki Bharatare. Some people requested the devotees to let them inside so that they could secretly watch the Sankirtan. This is what the interesting pastime. A lot of instruction. Prabhu says Sarvagna Iha Sarvadase Jane Ye Baye Keha Kare Na Laya says Tane. All the Lord's servants understood that the Lord knew everything. So in fear of his reaction, they did not take anyone inside. Eka Brahmachari say Navadvipe Vaise Tapasvi Parama Sadhu Vasai Nirdoshe. There was one particular Brahmachari who lived in Navadvip. He was austere, saintly and faultless. Sarvakala Payapana Anna Nahi Kaya Prabhura Kirtana Vipra Deki Bare Chaya. He only drank milk and did not eat rice. The Brahmana wanted to see the Lord's Kirtan. This was the qualification. And we will see what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will say. Since the Brahmachari considered that cooked food destroyed life and who took a vow to live only on uncooked foods like milk and mango was unqualified to hear the glories of the Supreme Lord. He had no qualification to hear the Kirtan and behind closed doors. Direct service to the Supreme Lord is never found within the principles of dry renunciation. Foolish people who misuse renunciation consider that the ingredients of the Lord's worship are fit for rejection. Prabhu say Duyara Diya Kare Kirtana Pravechite Nare Bhakta Vina Anya Jana. Since the Lord performed Kirtan behind closed doors, no one other than the devotees was allowed to enter. Sei Vipra Pratidina Srivasera Stane Nritya Deki Bare Lagi Sadai Apane. This particular Brahmana daily requested Srivas to allow him to see the Lord's dancing. Tumi yadi ek dina krupa kare mure apane laya yaha badira bitare tabe sei dekite pane pandite nritya lochana safala karo ana krita kritya. If you bestow mercy on me and take me one day inside your house, I will be able to see Nimai Pandit's dancing. Then my eyes will be successful and I will always remain grateful to you. Yehi matta pratidina sadaye brahmana ara dine Srivasera balila vachan. In this way, the Brahmana daily appealed to Srivas who one day replied to him, Tumare to jani sarva kala bada bala, brahmacharye palahare gunaila kala. I know you have always been a good person. Throughout your life, you have observed strictly celibacy and eaten only fruits. Kona papa nahi jane tumara sarire, deki vare tumare tai che adhikare. Your body is free from sin, so you are certainly qualified to see the Kirtan. See, Srivas Thakur's estimation of who can qualify to see based on the austerities. But we hear from throughout Srimad Bhagavatam, many places, Prabhupada quotes, Atapi te deva padambujadvayam janapi tattvam bhagavan mahimno. Charan vichinnam. One cannot enter, one cannot understand or retain devotion service to Lord Krishna without submitting, surrendering to the Supreme Lord and his devotees, his pure devotee of the Lord. It is not by austerity, it is not by charity, it is not by any other method, unless one submits to the, surrenders to the, and engages in devotion service. That is the only way one can actually enter, qualified to enter into the Bhakti Ras, receive the mercy of the Lord or entrance into the Lord's Kirtan. We'll see further. And who is that Vaishnava also we'll see. Kona papa nahi prabhura sei agna nahi keha yati bare sangopatakiva ei barilun tumare. But I tell you, the Lord has instructed us not to bring anyone inside. So you will have stay hidden. Since according to Mahaprabhu's instruction, the milk drinking brahmachari had no qualification to hear the Lord's chanting, despite possessing a sinless body. When he begged Srivas to allow him to see the Lord's dancing, Srivas advised him to remain hidden within the house. Because sometimes we may see that there are people who perform nishkam, they are not expecting anything in return, but they perform religious activities, they perform a lot of pious credits, they open hospital, they feed poor people, and they perform so many activities. They are not expecting anything in return, but that doesn't mean they are qualified to enter into receive the mercy of the Lord or the spiritual master. They have to have a devotion, bhakti. Without that, there is no way to actually receive anything. Eta bali brahmanera laya chalile eka dike yada haye sangope rahila. After speaking in this way, he took the Brahmana inside, hid him in one corner. This is Srivas Thakur. Thereafter, the Lord of the 14 worlds began to dance in the midst of his most fortunate associate. Krishna Rama Mukunda Murari Vanamali Save Mili Gaya Haya Mahakutuhali. They all jubilantly sang together Krishna Rama Mukunda Murari Vanamali. Nityananda Gadadara Dariya Vedaya Anande Advaita Simhachari Dage Daya. Nityananda and Gadadara held each other as they twirled around. The lion like Advaita ran here and there in ecstasy. Parananda Suke Keha Bahya Nahi Jane Vaikunta Nayaka Nutya Karaye Apane. As the Lord of Vaikunta personally danced, everyone lost external consciousness in transcendental happiness. Hari bola, Hari bola, Hari bola, bhai. Iha bhai, ara kichu, sunite na pai. Nothing could be heard other than Hari bol, Hari bol. Oh, brothers, chant the holy names. Asru kampa loma harsha sagana hunkara ke kahite pare viswambare vikar. Who can describe Viswambar's transformations of ecstatic love, like shedding of tears, shivering, ears standing on end, and loud roaring? Sarvagnera Chudamani Viswambara Raya, Jane Dvija, Lukaya, Achaya, Itaya. Yet Lord Viswambar, the crest jewel of omniscient persons, knew that a Brahmana was hiding there. Rahiya Rahiya Bale Prabhu Viswambar, Aji Kena Prema Yoga Na Pane Nirbhar. Lord Viswambar repeatedly stopped dancing and said, why am I not feeling any ecstasy today? Yogis who are free from material activities and averse to the Lord's name, form, qualities and associates and characteristics and pastimes do not have any information about love of Krishna. Therefore, even though they are exalted in material calculation, their aversion to love of God, which are transcendental to the four gates of life devours them. Although such bad association is considered desirable in the eyes of ordinary people, there is no possibility of attaining love of God in such association. See, Gaura Sundara revealed that love of God is absent in the association of persons who are averse to love of God. I cannot understand. It seems someone is inside the house. Tell me the truth. In fear, Srivas replied, Oh Lord, no atheists have come inside. There is only one brahmachari, a pious brahmana who leads a sinless life, only drinks milk. But this is not the qualification. You see, a pious brahmana who leads a sinless life and only drinks milk. He had a strong desire to see you dancing. You have rightly surmised. Oh Lord, he is hiding inside the house. On hearing this, Vaishnava angrily said, quickly take him out of the house. What qualification does he have to see my dancing? Can one attain devotion to me by drinking milk? Tui buja tuli prabhu anguli dekaya, paya pane kabu mora keha nahi paya. The Lord raised his two arms and extended his index fingers while saying, no one can attain me simply by drinking milk. So it is a very important instruction. Unless one submits to the spiritual master, unless one submits, be in the association of devotees and execute devotion service, with actually, with inside the heart is trying for the Lord's mercy and trying for bhakti. That's when actually you will be qualified to receive mercy, qualified to enter into the bhakti ras. Otherwise, you cannot taste anything. It's not by austerities, it's not by any other method, not by karma, not by jnana. So, Anya Abhilashita Sunyam Jnana Karma Janavatam Anukulyena Krishna Anusilanam. Krishna Anusilanam. It must be favorable to Lord Krishna, favorable, attractive to Lord Krishna. Here, the person wants to perform austerities, but he has no devotion. Actually, no devotion. That's what you will see. So, the know for certain that even if Chandala surrenders to me, he is mine and I am his. Sannyasi o mora yadi na laya sarana, seha mora nahi satya balilun vachan. If even a sannyasi does not surrender unto me, he is not mine. This is the truth I am telling you. Gajendra vanara gopi ki tapa karila, bala deki tara more ke mate paila. Astru ho to tapa kare ki haya tahar. Vine more sarana laile nahi par. Tell me, what kind of austerities did Gajendra perform? The monkeys and the cohorts perform to attain me. Even the demons perform austerities. But what is the result? Unless they take shelter of me, they cannot be delivered. And we see that also in the past times, as Rupa Goswami himself quotes in Padyavali. And this is mentioned by in many other places. Glory of devotion. Vyadaschacharanam dhruvasya cha vayo vidya gajendrasya ka kubja kim unama rupam adhikam kim tat sudamo dhanam vamsako vidurasya yadav pate rugrasya kim paurusham bhaktya tushchati kevalam nacha gunair bhaktir priyo madhava. Where were the hunters, the Dharma's piety? Where is Dhromara's maturity? Where is Gajendra's knowledge? Where was Kubja's beauty? Where was Sudama's wealth? Where was Vidura's noble birth? Where was Ugrasena's chivalrous strength? Lord Madhava is pleased only by devotion service, not by material qualifications. Here, this Brahmana has only drinking milk, but that is not the qualification. He never performs sinful activities. That is not the qualification either. So, could be Karma Yogi, Dana Yogi, Ashtanga Yogi, Nishkam Karma Yogi. But as long as it is not Bhagavad Arpita, then he cannot enter. He cannot receive any mercy. He cannot become a devotee. So that's why very much we have to understand. And who is that devotee? That also let's understand that is also very important. When the Lord, when Satyaraj Khan and Gunaraj Khan, Ramananda Vasu and Satyaraj Khan from the Kulina Gram, very, very important instruction Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was giving. And before that, even we will see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is giving that indication how much one must make the one and only goal of life as to attain Krishna, to serve Krishna's pure devotee and his devotees. He is making that point in Chaitanya Charitamrita many places, but in one verse, is a very beautiful verse. Agati ek gatim natva Hinartha adhika sadhakam Sri Chaitanya likite asya prema bhakti vadanyata. One must, so he is offering his obeisances. Natva hinartha adhika sadhakam. Natva means offering obeisances. Agati eka gatim. Eka gati means one devotee must have only one point attention, one goal, highest goal. Eka gatim, highest destination, ultimate goal of life. That is to actually receive the causeless mercy of the Lord. Agati means, and one must feel most fallen. Agati. One must feel that he is the most fallen. He doesn't have any quality. He doesn't deserve anything. Agati eka gatim natva hinartha adhika sadhakam. And is barefoot of all positions and is in the material world and he doesn't have any qualification. Then that is the means. And that is the only meaning for advancing in spiritual life. Sri Chaitanyam likhite yasya prema bhakti vadanyata. So that is right. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the ultimate goal of life, for one barefoot of all possessions in this material world, and is the only meaning for one advancing in spiritual life. Thus, let me write about his magnanimous contribution of devotion service in love of God. So, otherwise, people are depending on Dharmartha Kama Moksha. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come specifically to give the Krishna Prema. Bilamangal Thakur is also mentioning the same aspect. Bhakti Stiratara Tvai Bhagavan Syad Daivena Palat Divya Kishora Murti Dharmartha Kama Moksha Samaya Prateksha Mukti Muklitanjali Sevate Yasmat Dharmartha Kama Moksha Samaya Prateksha. One who is engaged in fixed of devotion service. So fixed devotion service means daily, constantly, every day, Nityam. As we see in Dhromara's pastime also, Dhromara's prayers also, the same aspect. So Bilamangal talking Bhakti Stiratara, every day one must execute. Daivena to whom? Which personality? Not Dwaraka Krishna, not Madhura Krishna, but Syama Sundar Krishna. Divya Kishora Murti. Then what will happen? Then Dharmartha Kama Samaya Pratiksha Mukti Mukla, even the liberation will stay at the doorstep. So then how one should perform devotion service? So one must perform devotion service, especially the chanting the holy name of the Lord must be in every step of the way. Always we should be chanting. And so much that in any other process, in service, in dressing, in cooking, whatever we may do, one must always mix with Kirtanakya Bhakti Samyoga. Jiva Goswami quotes this very important point. Although chanting the holy name is good for both conditioned and liberated souls, but one must, this Yadyapi Anya Bhakti Kalaus Kartavya Tada Kirtanakya Bhakti Samyoga. Always use the chanting the holy name of the Lord, always in any service, anything we do. That should be always eternally going on in our heart and minds. That is actually real Vaishnava. And Satyaraj Khan was asking Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is actually Vaishnava, what he should do. I am in a Grihastha ashram. How can I be delivered? How can I attain Krishna? Grihastha Vishayami ki more sadhana Sri Mukhe Agna Kara Prabhu Nivedi Charana. He is submitting. Nivedi means one must submissive like this. We are asking questions, they should be very, very submissive. Sri Mukhe Agna Kare Prabhu is asking, requesting the Lord with very much submissive attitude. Nivedi. Nivedana means he is submitting. He is thinking fallen. Agati Gati is complete most fallen, he is thinking. In that way he is submitting. So Grihastha Vishayagami. So I am a householder, I am a materialistic man. I do not know the process of advancing in Ki Mora Sadhana. This is the way to question. The spiritual master, this is the way to question devotees. This is the way to pray to the Lord also. I therefore submit myself unto your lotus feet and request you to give me orders. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed, Prabhu Kahena Krishna Seva Vaishnava Seva Nirantara Kare Krishna Nama Sankirtam. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was requesting that, replied that who is that, what he should do, how we can come out of this materialistic way of life. Without cessation, Nirantara Kara. Without cessation, continues the chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna. And whenever possible, Krishna Seva and Vaishnava Seva. Serve the Lord and serve his devotees and Vaishnavas. Now the question may come, who is actually Vaishnava? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, multiple times they asked. And first time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Satyaraj bole Vaishnava chinibe kemane ki Vaishnava kaha tahara samanya lakshane. Upon hearing this, Satyaraj said, how can I recognize a Vaishnava? Please let me know what a Vaishnava is. What are his common symptoms? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied that Prabhu kahiye yandra mukhe suni eka bar Krishna naam sei puja sreshta sabhakar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, whoever chants the holy name of Krishna just once is worshipable and is the topmost being. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, it thus concludes that neophyte devotee is even superior to the karmis, jnanis and yogis because he has full faith in chanting of the holy name of the Lord. A karmi or jnani, regardless of his greatness, has no faith in Lord Vishnu, his holy name or his devotion service. One may be advanced religiously, but if he is not trained in devotion service, he has very little credit on the transcendental platform. So that's why we have to have Bhakti Unmukha Sukriti credits. Then only you can actually, that's why this Brahmana who's drinking milk only, never performed any simple activities, so religious, but was he qualified to enter? No, absolutely not. So that process we have to understand. Sometimes we are so much into performing austerity, even Ekadasi also we try to do Nirjal, but yes, we can do. But what is the actual underlying essence is to actually increase our devotion, our sincere submissive service, submissively chanting, submissively hearing. So this is what is more needed than austerity. On top of it, if you can do Nirjal, yes, great, but not otherwise, because then it will be Agraha. Without understanding the actual essence of Ekadasi, we are simply doing that. Yes, you will get the credit, but that's not the actual essence. Let's say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is clearly saying that one must be Nirantara. Now, and what is that Nirantara also? Then further, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is instructing Satyaraj Khan in another time, next time when they came from Kulinagram. Mahaprabhu instructed Mahaprabhu so much, gave mercy to Kulinagram, so much so that even a pig, even anyone who is a pig eater or even a pig, any animal, anyone coming from Kulinagram, everybody gets the mercy. His devotion to attain Krishna has been given fully to Kulinagram. Because great devotee has come, Gunaraj Khan, who has written glories of Lord Krishna, especially Shyamasundar Krishna, in book called Sri Krishna Vijaya, book by Gunaraj Khan. And not only that, and Satyaraj Khan and Ramananda, their whole family is always serving. They are bringing silk ropes to Lord Jagannath every year for Rath Yatra. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given that service. So that's why Mahaprabhu, as seeing that devotion, seeing the submissive service, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu delivered the whole village. So that's why one must be, the indication is, instruction is, on our own strength, we cannot attain devotion. On our own strength, there is no qualification to enter into devotion service. On our own strength, there is no way enter into the Lord's pastimes. On our own strength, there is no way to can actually feel the reciprocation of the Lord. Only we can attain actually if you connect with his own devotees, Lord's pure devotees, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pure devotees. Then there is a possibility to enter, to actually feel the reciprocation of the Lord, to feel the ecstasy, to feel the bhava, the emotions in our heart. Otherwise, there is no possibility. We may be doing devotion service, but really we're not, because this Krupa Siddhi has to be drawn from the Acharya, from the Sadhu Mahajana, who is actually has attained that devotion to the Lord. So that's why Kulinagram is so much attached. Like Prahlad Maharaj also, Lord has told 21 generations. Even if somebody comes who perform simple activity in that family, the Lord is going to deliver. Other day I was explaining the pastime of one person in Orissa. Even now, this is recent, much recent. Is a nursing. He is worshipped Narasimha Saligram Shila at his home, because in the previous lineage, in the previous descendants, one of them is a great devotee. So from that line he is coming. But now they are eating fish and all. This is in Jagannath Puri. It's in the precincts of Jagannath. And then one time a thief, dacoits came and stole, because some gold, some silver was there. Then thought they took Shaligram. They have no idea what is Shaligram Silver. They took along with that, and they threw Shaligram Silver and they took the gold and silver. And then the Lord appeared after a few days to this devotee, to this person who is eating meat and who is catching fish and all, but engaging in worship of the Lord nursing the Saligram Shila. He appeared and told, "This is where I am. I am being thrown by these dacoits. Please come, bring it back to me and worship me." Then, so did we get that kind of dream? Did Lord is reciprocating with us, even though we are not committing sinful activities? No. Because one who has actually following the previous Acharya, previous descendant, who has actually became a pure devotee, by submitting, by connecting with those, by following their footsteps, then actually we can attain the mercy. The Lord will make that person as Atmasat, his own. He will make that whole family and lineage his own devotees, his own family. So that is a big difference. That's why here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu further instructing. The inhabitants of Puligram said, please let me know who is actually Vaishnava, what is his symptoms are, what is understanding his mind. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled and gave the following reply. Krishna Nama Nirantara Yanahare Vadane Sei Vaishnava Sreshta Bhaja Tanhare Charane. Any person who is always chanting the holy name of the Lord is to be considered a first-class Vaishnava, and your duty is to serve his lotus feet. Nirantara, that means always. So that's what we have to indicate. We taste Krishna Prasad while tasting. Ki bhojane, ki sene, ki sayane. Nirantara Krishna Nama love. So one who is always chanting while sleeping, while eating, while waking up. So that is the actual symptom of a pure devotee. Symptom of a devotee who is actually crying for the Lord, crying for the Guru's mercy. And these are the symptoms we have to watch for. And if Lord is reciprocated or not, if the perfect, our service is perfect or not, then this is how we know whether we are progressing, how much we are chanting. We pick up the beat, then we may be chanting. We are in the temples, maybe we are seeing the Lord, maybe we are thinking. But when we are not there, then how much we are chanting, how much we are remembering Guru and Krishna. So that signifies what is our progress, where we are, what level we are in. So how much anardas we have, that's what indicates us. Nobody needs to give us certificate. We all know where we are. That is one way here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nirantara. What is that Nirantara? Antara. What is Antara means? Nirantara means continuously, every day, constantly. But Nirantara means there is Antara, there is a difference. So what is that Antara? A body, money, and so many things. We will see. So Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur giving the elaborate purport on that Antara meaning. And before that, another instruction Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given, who is actually Vaishnava. Asat Sangha Tyaga Yei Vaishnava Cha. Sri Sangi Eka Sadhu Krishna Bhakta. This is another place Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given. A Vaishnava should always avoid the association of ordinary people, common people, or very much materially attached, or always prajalpa, anything which is not related to Krishna. That's all prajalpa. They're always constant discussing politics and material news and whatnot. No interest in whatsoever about Krishna. And especially to women who is attached to the materially attached, especially to Sri Sangi, Eka Sadhu. So Vaishnava should always avoid the company of those who are not devotees of Lord Krishna. Intimate association especially. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is instructing. Now we'll see that what is this Antara means, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and especially Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur is giving the instruction in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila. Nirantara, yeah. Nirantara, the word Nirantara meaning without cessation, continuously, constantly is very important in this verse. The word Antara means interval. If one has desires other than the desire to perform devotion service, in other words, if one sometimes engages in devotion service and sometimes strives for sense gratification, his service will be interrupted. A pure devotee, therefore, should have no other desire than to serve Krishna. He should be above fruitive activity and speculative knowledge. This is the platform of pure devotion service. One should not be motivated by fruitive activity or mental speculation, but simply serve Krishna favorably. Further, another meaning of Antara is this body. This body is an impediment to self-realization because it is always engaged in sense gratification. Similarly, Antara means money. If money is not used in Krishna's service, it is also an impediment. That's why we have to be careful. You see that Srila Prabhupada, every penny, not a single penny. We generally are not so careful. We think we are working, so I can spend the money the way I want. I can buy anything I want. So, but that's not how Srila Prabhupada, that's not how sannyasis spend. Very, very careful. As well as on Jayadvesa Maharaj, you can see, he'll give you account for each and every penny, what he received and how he spent each and everything. So this is the what, because everything is Krishna's property. Prabhupada was very, very careful, very strict. Even when he sends some devotee to get something from the shop, he carefully directs, why did you spend 1 rupee extra? You're supposed to buy from here. You're not supposed to spend this much. So Prabhupada is very, very particular because it's Krishna's money. So that's why money should be spent very wisely. Even though whether our money, our parents given money, or whoever has given, money belongs to Krishna. It's Lakshmi Narayan. Lakshmi belongs to Narayan. That's why we call Lakshmi. We don't call money in devotion service. Antara also means Janata, people in general. The association of ordinary persons may destroy the principles of devotion service. Similarly, Antara may mean greed. Greed to acquire more money or enjoy more sense gratification. This also, yes. Where is the stop? Where can you stop? Because if the greed is there like this, then one job is not enough. You will go on picking up jobs. One house is not enough. Then one car is not enough. There is no end to it. You can go on, but we can never be satisfied with anything. So this is what finally the word antara may also mean atheistic ideas by which one considers the temple deity to be made of stone, wood, or gold. All these are the impediments. The deity in the temple is not material. He is the supreme personality of God himself. Similarly, considering the spiritual master as an ordinary human being, Guru Naramati, Vaishnava Jati Buddhi. We cannot understand the spiritual master. We cannot understand the spiritual master by ordinary vision. So that's why again and again Shastra is quoting. As per directly Lord Krishna is instructing Uddhava Acharyamam Vijaniyam na avamanyeta karichit na buddhya na asuya sarvadeva mayo guru. Is the representative of all demigods. Even I can understand the position of spiritual master, especially pure devotee of the Lord. So we have to have Bhagavati Buddhi, not ordinary Buddhi, Madhya Buddhi. Madhya Buddhi is not at all. Is condemned. Madhya Buddhi. Acharya Mam Vijan na avamanyeta kari. Na Madhya. This Madhya Buddhi means he is also a great person. So our ordinary human being is also like me. Sometimes we may write Guru's name. No. So we should be very, very careful. We should be very submissive. How we write, so how we speak, how we call. So we should know this Vaishnava culture. So it's also considered material. Charanamrita should not be considered ordinary drinking water. And the holy name of the Lord should not be considered as ordinary sound vibration. Nor should one look on Lord Krishna as an ordinary human being. For he is the origin of all Vishnu Tattva. Nor should one regard the Supreme Lord as a demigod. Intermingling the spiritual path with material causes one to look on transcendence as a material and mundane or as spiritual. This is all due to poor fund of knowledge. One should not consider Lord Vishnu and things related to him as being different. All this is offensive. And Jeva Goswami is putting Namaikam Esya Vaji Smarana Pata Gatam Iti Ado Deha Dravinadi Nimittaka Pasanda Sabdena Cha Dosha Aparada Lakshante Pasanda Mayatva Tesham. In the words beginning Namaikam Asya, we find the word Pasanda. But the word literally indicates misuse of one's body or property. But in that verse, it implies the 10 offenses against the chanting the holy name of the Lord. See, in each of these, it leads to such godless behavior. Mayavadhas look on Vishnu and Vaishnavas imperfectly due to their poor fund of knowledge, and this is condemned. Intermediate Vaishnava has to further goes in detail, Kanishthadhikari, Uttamadhikari, Madhyamadhikari. But we can understand these principles of this devotion service. Let's read further so that we can understand. Otherwise, we may not understand clearly what it is actually devotion service means. Prabhu bale paya pane mora nahi paya sakala karimo churna dekibe tai. The Lord continued, one cannot attain me by only drinking milk. You will see right here how I smashed it to pieces. Mahabaye brahmachari aila bahira mane chintaye brahmana mahadhira. As the brahmachari left in great fear, that sober brahmana thought to himself, so I am indeed fortunate to have seen something. I have also received appropriate punishment for my offense. I saw that wonderful dancing and wonderful kirtana, and I was punished according to my offense. This is the important quality. Important quality. One must detect, one must receive the chastisement with a great submission. Great submission. So most of the times, because of the situated mode of passion, mode of ignorance, we cannot accept punishment. Most of the times. It's very difficult to accept the chastisement, especially even from a guru also. That's why from a guru also may not give chastisement by seeing disciple's quality. He may not even chastise, he may not even say anything. He will not give even instruction either. Because if you are not qualified, it's going to be detrimental for devotional service. That's why generally Guru doesn't give instructions to anybody and everybody. They might be disciple for many years, but still they cannot give, because then that will be even more detrimental. So that's this is also important point. One must repent for their mistake. Always this, whenever we are in Guru Puja, we are always asking. As soon as you submit, chant Pranam Mantra, and you have to ask. Whenever you are in front of Prabhupada, make sure to remember to ask for forgiveness from mistake and not to repeat. Try not to repeat. We have to ask for forgiveness, because constantly we are committing. That's why we are not able to chant the pure holy name. So we have to understand that mistake. Let's not be in a false idea that we are chanting pure Suddhanam. We are not. So that's why we have to be careful here. This is the instruction for us. I'm indeed fortunate to have seen something. I have also received appropriate punishment for my offense. I saw that wonderful dancing and wonderful kirtan, and I was punished according to my offense. Purport by Bhakti dancer. Last year, Brahmachari was an impersonalist. Since he was devoid of the propensity to serve, he could not appreciate the display of intoxication and ecstatic love of God. This was the cause of his offense. Those who consider the dancing and crying in need of living entities intoxicated by material enjoyment in this world as equal to the devotees singing, dancing, crying, laughing for the Supreme Lord are offenders. As a result of receiving punishment in the form of Sri Gaurasundar chastisement, the impersonalistic brahmachari became enlightened. See that as soon as he thought he is rightly punished, he was in a very submissive, then automatically he will receive mercy, you will see. Only a servant of the Lord develops such a mentality and is able to tolerate the Lord's challenge. See that point. Very important point. Many times we are not able to tolerate. That means we are not qualified to receive mercy of the Lord or Guru. So we have to develop this quality, very important quality. Sevake kahile yehi matta buddhi haya, sevake sehi prabhura sakala danda saya. Because of self-realization, a person whose hearts are constantly engaged in the service of Supreme Lord never express displeasure in any of the Lord's actions. Considering themselves fit for punishment, a such person respectfully accept the Lord's judgment and remember their previous offenses. So even whatever may happen, sometimes most of the times, Lord will reduce our offenses, reduce our reactions for the offenses. So we have to accept and we have to pray sincerely for the strength also. They do not endeavor to oppose the judgment of Supreme Lord to attain religiosity. Otherwise, when we are not in submissive attitude, immediately if something happens, the chanting doesn't work, looks like Lord doesn't work, bhakti doesn't work, then we will give up. Then we'll go back to our materialistic life. That's what we do. Many people do like that because they don't have submission. Real intensity is not there. Real inner mood is not there. So that's why they don't have the taste. They will leave and go back as soon as some disturbance comes. In this regard, one should discuss that Brahma's prayers. Your Bhakti Siddhanta Tattenu Kampam Susamikṣamano Punjam Samiksha. That's why Samiksha means we have to detect where we are, what is our problem, what is our how we are progressing, where we are lacking, what kind of mistakes we are committing. We have to observe. Devotion service is a lot of observation. Paying attention to details is very important in devotion service. We have to observe the sadhu and learn. So the Vaishnava etiquette, how to observe, how to behave. Whenever we are in the temple, especially, then only. Otherwise, it is very difficult. Tattenu kampam susamikṣamano bunjana evatma kritam vipagam hridvagam ubir vedadam namaste jiveta jiyo mukti pade sadayava. One must be, my dear Lord, one who honestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds and offering you respectful obeisance with his heart, mind, words, is surely eligible for liberation. That is the qualification. This is patiently receiving, even if it is punishment. He is receiving, accepting it. Initially, it will be very hard. It's very difficult to accept justin, but at least after a few minutes, or at least after a day, we should recognize it is actually good for us. And we should accept that authority, that devotee and spiritual master, and go and beg for forgiveness and request his causeless mercy and request his instructions, request service. And so in that way, we should continue. We should never leave. That means these are the tests. There is no samiksha, then you cannot do pratiksha, neither you cannot Pariksha cannot be done, Pratiksha cannot be done. Means you cannot wait because Samiksha itself is not, we cannot even detect. We first place we think that we haven't committed anything wrong. We did everything nice and correct. That's what we have that impression most of the times in devotion service. So then there is no way Lord can correct. Lord, when in check, Lord can actually bring us up from our offenses or anarthas. Lord cannot do it because we don't have that inclination. So, Ei Matta Chintiya Chalite Dvijavara, Jani Len Antaryami Prabhu Viswambar, as that exalted Brahmana departed while thinking in this way, Lord Viswambar, the super soul, understood his heart. That's why Bhava Grahi Janardana. That is the mood of Lord. He is always seeing what is the consciousness. When we do devotional service, whether chanting, hearing, service, devotee service to the Lord, if the consciousness, the intention is not proper, then actually we are not attaining the real thing, real essence. Dakiya Aniya Puna Karuna Sagara Pada Padma Dila Tara Mastaka Upar. The Lord, who has an ocean of mercy, called the Brahmana back and placed his lotus feet on his head. What a mercy! What a mercy here. Prabhu Bale Tapa Kari Na Kara Bala Vishnu Bhakti Sarva Sreshta Jani Kevala. The Lord then told him that he shouldn't be proud of his austerity. He should know for certain that devotion service to the Supreme Lord is supreme. Ananda Krandana Kare Sei Vipravara Prabhura Karuna Guna Smare Nirantara. That exalted Brahmana cried in ecstasy as he continually remembered the merciful qualities of the Lord. Hari Bali Santoshe Sakala Bhakta Gana Dandavat Haya Padila Tatakshana. All the devotees then jubilantly chanted the names of Hari and immediately offered obeisance to the Brahmachari. Because this is another Vaishnava quality. The quality of Vaishnava means he never becomes envious of another Vaishnava. That is who is a Vaishnava. This is also one quality, one understanding we need to have. He's always thinking if somebody is growing more in devotion, somebody is doing nicely in devotion service, whatever service, then we have to understand this is Guru and Krishna's mercy is there, blessings are there. Even in the IT corporate and business, if somebody is growing, may not be qualified as us or materially or whatever the case may be. Still, we have to understand that it is Guru and Lord's mercy, some or the other, that they are receiving it. We have to accept it. Maybe Lord doesn't want us to get it, but then we may be too proud. We may not perform bhakti. It is not good for us. Maybe Lord is not giving that way. We have to accept it. It is Lord's plan. We have to accept all as will of the providence. Lord knows exactly, Guru knows exactly what we need and when we need. So that's what we have to go by, the Lord's plan. So, and accept whatever comes in our way. All devotees then, anyone who faithfully hears the confidential pastime will certainly attain Lord Gaur Sundar. Shraddha Kari Yei Sune Yei Savar Hasya Gaura Chandra Prabhu Tanre Miliva Avasya. So many of you want to attain Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. Are you ready to receive? Then we have to act as the instructions we discussed. Brahmachari Prati Krupa Kariya Takura Ananda Avese Nritya Karena Prachur. After bestowing mercy on the Brahmachari, the Lord profusely danced in ecstasy. Because that is the intention why Lord has chastised him, mainly to correct and to show actually to all the devotees in future generation how one should understand devotion service, what he should rectify. I offer my obeisance at the feet of that Brahmana whose intelligence was purified by Lord Chaitanya's chastisement. How one should accept the chastisement of the Lord and Guru and devotees. Yei matta pratinista karaye kirtana deki bare shakti nahi dare anya jana. In this way, the Lord performed kirtana every night, but no outsider had the right to watch. Otherwise, it will be disturbance. So, Antare Dukkita Sava Loka Nadiyara Savai Pasandira Manda Balaya. As a result, all the people of Nadia were distressed at heart. They put all the blame on the thieves. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is performing different pastimes for different reasons. This is like Rasa Lila. Inside the house of Sriva Sangam is like Rasa Stali. This is confidential pastime. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never discussed. While he's in the last 12 years or so in Gambhira, he was discussing confidential pastimes with Ramanandra and Sarvadhamar Goswami. Not anybody else. Because that is the injunction, because one must be qualified. So, but again, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so mercifully distributing the love of God by actually making others chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So he is giving freely, going out and Sankirtan, performing. Wherever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went with his devotees, and he sent Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Haridas Thakur, so many devotees to engage, distribute this Sankirtan yajna to all others. Then in this way he has distributed. It's not that Lord is restricting. In this case, this is more of a confidential pastime of Rasasthali. So not everybody can enter. Even Lord Shiva to enter into Rasasthali, then he had to become a gopi. He cannot think that I will be Lord Shiva and I cannot know. That's why if you want to be a devotee, you have to go by Guru and Krishna's choice, not by our choice. I want to keep my independence. I want to keep my independent desires. Then we can never become devotee. So that we have to give up. Even Lord Shiva had to give up his own this form and his everything. He had to become a gopi by Vrunda Devi and Purnamasi. They guided. Okay, go and take a bath in Kusum Sarovar, Manas Ganga, and then he became a gopi. Then he was protecting the Dham. So that's why out of 5 important persons, Lord Shiva is also there. 5 important persons by which we can attain Krishna Prema. We have to constantly beg the mercy. One is Vrunda Devi, Tulsi Maharani, another is Giriraj, Govardhan, another is Gopeswar Mahadev. One is Guru, 6 Goswamis, Guru Varga. One more I forget. The holy place, Brajdham, the dust of the Braj. These 5 as very much prominent to pray, to sincerely beg. By praying to them, then actually we can actually develop the qualities what we need to perform actual real devotion service. Otherwise, it's very difficult. So that's why even the gopis are chanting. Giriraj Govardhan, Antaya Madri, Avala Aridasa Varyo. So Antaya Madri, Avala Aridasa Varyo. Yad Rama Krishna Charana Sparsa Pramoda. Giriraj Govardhan. It is very important to see the Vrindavan consciousness completely. You can see that what is pure devotion. Even though Indra was actually puffed up and Indra is doing so much chaos, but actually Giriraj Govardhan didn't even look at any of those faults. Even the Brajavasis also never, they took shelter of Lord Krishna and he became Giriraj Govardhan. But the Vrindavan Vasis never actually took those into consideration. They were not discussing about Indra, why Indra did this. They are not discussing any of that. They are rather discussing after the pastime also with Nanda and Yashoda, all the other cohort boys. They are always discussing about actual Krishna's glories. We, on the other way, we discuss about what this person has done that person has done that. We always look at the negative qualities. But in Vrindavan, the Vraja consciousness is always about center is Krishna, always discussing about what Krishna has done. His qualities, his name, his form, his pastimes. That is the Vrindavan consciousness. That is actual real bhakti means this is what it is. Negative things will be there in many places. That we have to omit, we have to ignore. We have to move on. Small things, keep it small. Big things, keep it always big. So big thing is we have to, ultimate goal is ahead of us. Attain Krishna Prema. So with that focus always, every day, that focus should be there. Before we sit in chanting, before we do service, what is our goal? For that goal, if anybody coming in, giving some, some criticizement, whatever there may be, then we have to move on. Actually, to attain the ultimate goal, we have to move on, not take it so much into heart and then distress, oh, I should take this service or I should maybe not do this service. No, just move on, because we are not expected to take everything, whatever people may say, then we will be here only. We can never develop our devotion. We are constantly thinking about somebody else. Our duty is to follow the Acharya Parampara, not somebody else. Prabhupada never accepted anybody saying, someone said that, who is they? Who is they means who? Is a Acharya? Is a Guru? Is a in the line of Guru Parampara? Then we talk about it. If it is somebody else putting something else which is not aligned with our Acharya Parampara, then there is no question of discussing, you're pondering on that subject. So that's what we have to keep this ultimate goal in every step of the way in our devotion service, everyday basis. Then actually we can progress. Further, let's see what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has to instruct here. In this way, Lord performed Kirtan every night, but no outsider has right to watch. As a result, all the people of Madhya were distressed at heart. They put all the blame on the atheists. But what is to care about it? So, because of the foolish, sinful blasphemers, we are unable to see such a festival. They're all sinful atheists whose only business is to blaspheme. They are deprived of seeing such kirtan, so they simply suffer. And they cannot enter into Ras Leela because they are not qualified. Because of these sinful atheists, Nimai Pandit refuses allow even good people inside. He is a devotee of Krishna, so he knows everything. Moreover, his heart is most pure. If you are devoted to him, then somehow we will certainly see him dancing one day. One of the independents said, "Oh brother, just wait. We will see the dancing to our full satisfaction right here." Nimai Pandit has appeared within Madhya to deliver the entire world. I tell you, he will perform Sankirtan from door to door, at every house and in every town. Bhagyavantan Nagariya Sarva Avatare Panditera Gana Sabha Ninda Kari Mare. The inhabitants of Navadvip were most fortunate, for they accompanied the Lord in each of his incarnations. But the scholars suffered as a result of their blasphemy. Each and every morning, the inhabitants would go to see the Lord. Everyone brought some gifts, such as new items, bananas, ghee, yogurt, or attractive flower garlands. Everyone wanted to see the Lord with such gifts. On seeing the Lord, they all offered obeisances to him. The Lord said to them, "May you all attain devotion service for Krishna. Do not speak anything about anything other than the names and qualities of Krishna." Very important point. That is essence. Prabhu Bale Krishna Bhakti Hauka Savar. Krishna Nama Guna Bhai Nai Na Baliha Ar. Nothing else. Nothing else. Apane Savare Prabhu Kare Upadesha. Krishna Nama Mahamantra Sunaha Harise. The Lord personally instructed everyone, hear the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and be happy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhu Bale Kahilana Ye Mahamantra Iha Japa Giya Sabe Kariya Nirbandha. The Lord continued, this is the Mahamantra. All of you go and chant this mantra according to the prescribed number. By doing so, everyone will attain all perfection. Always chant. There is no other prescription. 5 to 10 people can sit together in the house and perform kirtan while clapping their hands. You should chant Hariharaya Nama, Krishna Yadavaya Nama, Gopal Govindaram, Sri Madhusudan. These are my instructions on how to perform Sankirtan. Go home and chant together with your wife, father, and sons. Having received mantra from the mouth of the Lord, they all became jubilant. After offering obeisance, they returned to their respective homes. They engaged their bodies, minds by constantly chanting the names of Krishna and meditating on the Lord's lotus feet. In the evenings, they gathered in their houses and performed the kirtana while clapping their hands. In this way, the son of Sachi inaugurated the congregational chanting of the holy name from village to village. The Lord stood up and embraced each one of them, then offered his garlands to them. With straw between his teeth, the Lord appealed to them, "O brothers, worship Krishna day and night. Dante tna kari Prabhu parihara kare. Aharnisha bhai sabha bajaha Krishnere. Prabhu dekiya arti kande sarva jana. Kaya mana vakye lailena sankirtan." They all cried and seeing the Lord's anxiety. They then engaged in the process of Sankirtan with their bodies and minds and speech. In great jubilation, all the inhabitants of Navadvip clapped their hands and chanted the names of Rama and Narayana. They all had mridangas, kartals, and conch shells in their homes, and that they used during the Durga Puja festival. In the interest of time, we'll stop here 8:59. But so from this pastime, we can understand that we have to keep our ultimate goal in the front. And we have to understand that we have to always constantly chant the holy name of the Lord and keep no antara, don't keep anything in between. Our body, sense gratitude shouldn't come in the middle, or money, how to utilize everything as the property of Krishna. Then actually we can chant the holy name of the Lord. Otherwise, while eating, we will enjoy. We think that this is prasad, but still we think we will enjoy, we'll try to enjoy. But if you are really enjoying and bliss, then we'll be chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra while taking prasad. That is the indication how much we are progressing. Always chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra has to go always. And we have to accept the chastisement of the Lord, chastisement of the Guru, chastisement of the devotees, especially as long as it is aligned with Sadhu and Shastra and Guru. Even though we may not be wrong in that instance, but still we should accept if it is as long as they are attached to Sri Prabhupada, they are in alignment with Sadhu and Shastra and Guru. This is for our benefit. So for our benefit of advancing in bhakti and developing taste for actually for Guru and Krishna Seva. So that is those are the main important instructions from today's pastime. So anyone has any questions, comments, corrections? Please go ahead. You're on mute. Hey Krishna, go ahead. Anyone has? Suman Prabhu, Suman Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
No problem. Go ahead.
Prabhuji, I have two questions. One, I have not understood Adhikari that you have spoke regarding this context, like Madhyam Adhikari and two more.
Yeah.
Kanishta Adhikari.
Yes, I'll speak on that. Yeah, go ahead. What is the other question?
And another question is, as we know that there are a lot of forms of Lord Krishna, like Jagannath Bhagwan and Caitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Krishna and Narsimha Dev. There are different forms of Lord Sri Krishna. So on which form we should meditate upon? Like while we are chanting, or we are we are sometimes meditate upon some form of Lord, no? So which is the most appropriate one to meditate upon?
Yeah, thank you for your nice questions. So let's offer our obeisance first to Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhu rupare.
Tanam Pavnabhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
The first question is, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained, and then our Rupa Goswami explains in Nectar of Instruction, in especially verse number 8. Tannam Rupa Charitad Sukirtanan Anusprutya Tishtam Rajeta Damuragi Jananugami Kalam Nayedati Upadesha Saram. The essence of all the devotion service is to Rupa, form, pastimes, qualities, and the holy name will be revealed for one who is always following in the footsteps of previous acharyas. Who are those acharyas? Acharyas are, especially Prabhupada and previous acharya parampara, is in the pure devotions of Uttam Adhikari stage, which means they are always seeing the Lord in everybody's heart. Paramatma, they are seeing Paramatma is there in everybody's heart, not only human beings, but even other living entities. Sthavara Jangama na deke adeke Ishta Devata Sarvatra hoy Spurti Ishta Devata. So they are seeing the super soul in each and every living entity, moving or non-moving. That is the Uttam Adhikari stage. The Nitya Siddhas, pure devotees of the Lord, they are coming down from the spiritual world to preach, to distribute the knowledge, and they have to come down one level down, Madhyam Adhikari, because then they have to distinguish. If they are an Uttam Adhikari, they cannot preach. They cannot distinguish. They think they are the lowest, everybody is highest. Everybody has devotion, but I don't have devotion. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur saying, Tumhara kukur is always saying that I am the devotee's dog. Let me be insect, let me whatever I may be in next life, but let me be always in the association of devotees. Let me be born in the devotee's family. That's he's always thinking. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is also is always thinking in that way. This is because they are Uttam Adhikaris. That's why they are naturally feeling. Not we cannot imitate. This is naturally feeling that position. That is Uttam Adhikari. The Madhyam Adhikari is one level down, which is the qualities or symptoms I mentioned. Isvara Tadadina Balishesh Dishas Krupa Maitri Sa Bhakta Madhyama. That means they have great love for Lord Krishna. Isvara Tadadina and Balishesh Dishas Krupa Maitri. And they do with the same level of devotees, they make friendship with them. And those who are juniors, they are very compassionate to them. And those who are envious, they neglect them. So they don't criticize them, but they neglect them. Because that is Uttam Adhikari's business to actually, they can convert. Even it is just like yesterday, Maharaj, Devamrita Swami Maharaj was saying, how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu converted those who are even impersonalists. So in this case, even in the today's pastime also, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can convert, the Guru can convert, Uttam Adhikari can convert. But for us, we're not supposed to glorify the holy name not so much deep. Especially we can distribute prasadam, especially when somebody is offender, somebody is impersonalist. It is good to know what is the other person's position. Accordingly, we have to speak, present the case, not so much go into confidential subject matters or devotion service, because they may not be attracted, rather they may be criticized, they may be have offensive behavior. Then it's not good for us or for him. So that's why we may not speak so much details in the beginning when person is new. So that is the Madhyamadhikari. Then Madhyamadhikari is also not, he knows Shastra, he has strong faith, Shastriya Shraddha, he doesn't have a Laukik Shraddha. Kanishtadhikari stage has a Laukik Shraddha. That means you base your everything on what somebody else said, or on the political news or the material news or the internet says, or somebody said, somebody speaker, somebody said this. You never go by the actual Shastra and Sadhu and Guru. So that is the Kanishtadhikari stage. But Madhyamadhikari is fixed on Sadhu and Shastra and Guru, but at the same time, he doesn't have the capacity to actually answer, address all the questions. He doesn't have the capacity to convert other person into pure devotee, because Uttamadhikari can convert. So by simply praying for them, by giving his mercy, Uttamadhikari convert, make others a devotee. Like Srila Prabhupada has prayed for so many, even those who are doing so much chaos, when they come to temple, Prabhupada said, what happened to this person? He's not coming again. Then the Prabhupada, and then Prabhupada saw next time, then Prabhupada chastised disciples, don't reject anybody. Let them come, even if they are not doing, let them come to the temple. Prabhupada actually prayed for them also, and later on he became a great writer, great devotee, Tushakrata Das, I think. So like that, we have so many examples. Giriraj Maharaj, as soon as he entered into the temple, or when first time or second time, and Prabhupada saw, and then Prabhupada prayed, I prayed for you to become a true devotee of the Lord. So that is the Acharya, the Uttama Adhikari, has whatever he prays, whatever he does for a devotee, then he immediately receives mercy, because Lord listens to their prayers. That is Uttamadhikari stage. Madhyamadhikari also has certain qualification. He may be able to get mercy for others, but not so much as Uttamadhikari. So that's why there are gradation. And then Kanishtadhikari is so much interested in Lord, worshipping the Lord, coming to temple, but not so much caring to understand the details of devotee, details of serving the devotees and Vaishnava. He doesn't have attachment to serving devotees. He doesn't have attachment. So that is the Kanishtadhikari stage, which is Archa Eva Harai, Pujam Shraddhaya Yate, Sabhakta Prakrita Smita. Is situated on external platform. So that's why bhakti is not of the external. In the initial, it's okay, because they are still trying to understand what bhakti is. So it's okay. But actually, bhakti means it's internal. Internally, how much we are actually really focusing on Lord Krishna and Guru's instructions, and you want to develop, you want to serve them menially, humbly. Really, we want to attain the goal. We want to be with Krishna. Krishna is ours and I am Krishna's. This is the mood they have. In that way, then nothing else will agitate us, nothing else will bother us. Everything will be secondary. There is no antara. There is no difference. Otherwise, there is antara. Nirantara, we can't chant. Because everything else is coming in between, then we can't chant the holy name. So that's what nirantara means. Only when you have the ultimate goal always in your front, doorstep, in your front, every day, throughout the day. You are always thinking, this is my ultimate goal. Anything else bothering, agitating, keeping me away from Krishna, throw them out, keep them out. Keep always, be focused on the one and only goal. How to attain Guru and Krishna's mercy, how to serve them, how to take their responsibility as my responsibility in a small way, whatever, depending on our capacity and our other duties. We should start small way. Then automatically we become nirantara. We will always chant. Otherwise, there is no way for us to chant when we have that antara, when we are using our body, our mind, our money, our property in other means. And we're always agitated by different difficulties, different people saying different things in the office or business or outside, wherever. So people always want to poke into our life. That is the business of this material. What else can you expect in this material? You can't expect. But if it is a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada and the sadhus, their business is always to bring us close to the Lord. That is their business. They are not like flies and looking for souls. They are like swan. That's why they are called Paramahamsa. Devam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivirajikacharya. They're always at the looking how can I bring this devotee close to the Lord through the Acharya Parampara to the Srimati Radharani. That is their business, always. So that's why always they take trouble, whether they get prasadam or not, whether they will have a place to stay or not, they are not concerned. They are fully surrendered, they are fully taken shelter. That is what Uttamadhikari means. And Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari cannot do. Kanishtadhikari doesn't even have that strength by himself and is always attached. Many examples are there in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Meenaketan Ramdas, and Gunarnava Mishra is there. Gunarnava, his name is Vaishnava qualities, but his Vaishnava qualities is not tied with Krishna or Bhakti. It is tied with material qualities. He's simply ringing the bell and he's doing the arati, but when the devotee came asperly associated with Nityananda, he didn't even perceive, he didn't even look at him, he didn't even acknowledge especially such a great associate of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So then immediately Lord Nityananda Prabhu was actually, he didn't give him any mercy. Actually, that's an offense. Especially when we are anybody in the temple doing the arati, when somebody comes walking in, no one else is there, we are supposed to stop the arati and attend to the devotee, attend to that person, even if whether the devotee or not devotee, that's secondary matter. So that is the instruction we get from Nectar Devotion from Rupa Goswami and Sri Prabhupada also. Because how much careful and attend to devotee, that is what actual bhakti means. When we want to come to Madhyamadhikari, then we have to be very attentive to the devotees' needs also. And then we can come. Otherwise, we are still on the Kanishtadhikari stage. We are always looking for externals. It is not external. Yes, we try to be, wear good clothes and always chanting bag and neck beads and all that. That's good. It will remind us of Krishna and Guru service, but we have to internalize that. And that is when we can progress in bhakti. If you don't internalize it, we are always in external periphery, then we cannot enter into the bhakti ras. We cannot actually taste the mellow of devotion service. Neither while chanting or while hearing, can never taste. We always have questions. We always have speculations. We always have why this, why not that. So this will come only when we don't internalize the actual concepts of bhakti. Is that clear, Mataji? I think I have spoken.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Sometimes what happens, people come and provoke, like we don't spread it, we just do our own job, but people come and provoke us to speak something, and when we start speaking about something, whatever they ask, then what happened, they don't digest it. They start questioning about the God itself, that how is it this possible, why he has come to this world, don't he have something blah blah which is not to be said regarding God. So this also happens, Prabhuji, sometimes.
I agree. Happily say Hare Krishna, chant and smile and give them prasad. Tell them if they want, they can come to temple. That's all. In initial stage, that's what can make them better persons, better devotees. So it takes time because everybody has a different baggage. And also understand that whenever somebody is bringing these things, it is not the coincidence. It is not by chance. Nothing is happening in devotion by chance. It is our own prarabdha karma, our own, the way we are. So then other person is coming into our picture. Sometimes we haven't committed any mistake. There's nothing wrong in us. But because of the past life or this life, we have committed something. So then we are put into that situation, awkward situation. But in the office or in temple or in the business, wherever we are, it doesn't matter. It is bringing us into that awkward situation. It is because of our past lives. So we have to accept. We can only pray. We can only depend on Guru and Krishna and submit and take it easy. Because chanting is always the main key essence. And devotion to the Lord is the main principle. So we have to neglect all others. Move on. Nothing else should bother. Move on. That should be our priority. So the utmost priority means nothing else matters. When the service is there, somebody else, president, vice president, whoever is calling, no. First Krishna's matter, Guru's matter first. Then everything else is secondary. Everything else can wait. There is nothing in this world which is beyond Guru and Krishna. When we have that goal, nothing can stop us. Nothing. Everything else will be a second in our life. So we shall come to that platform. That only will come when we submit to Srila Prabhupada and pray sincerely, hear from him, take his message seriously in our heart. Then Srila Prabhupada make all the wonders. He has the magic to make us pure devotees in one lifetime. He has the magic, provided we are submitting to him, we are praying to him to reveal that process, to reveal how we should conduct our life, how to practice in our life. So that we have to draw it from Srila Prabhupada. So that he is our preeminent Acharya, Siksha Guru. Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
9:16. We can take one more question or correction or anything.
Prabhuji, Dandavagram, always Shiva. Prabhuji, we did not answer Mata's second question. Second question was also there, right, Prabhuji?
Second question.
Yes, yes. Second question was to which form we should meditate upon.
Yeah. While chanting the holy name of the Lord, nothing should be meditated. There is a so I forget the terminology used by our japa workshops by Mahatma Prabhu, by various devotees, Sachinandan Maharaj. There is a pre-process before the chanting. So that's when you can do your meditation. You want to meditate on the Lord's form, look at the beautiful form of Shamsundar Krishna, Jagannath, Lord Jagannath, Baldev Sudra Sudarshanji, or Sri Gaurnatai, whatever you are interested in. There's no such restriction that particular form only I should worship. Any Lord Krishna's form or his incarnate Lord Vishnu Tattva, any form is fine. Whatever you are attached to, that's fine. But generally, we, especially in the beginning stage, we worship Lord Jagannath, Baldev Sudra, and Sri Gaurnatai because they are the most merciful. All we have to do is chant the holy name of the Lord. Even if you are not worshipping properly, you are not offering properly, you are not doing any arati, not dressing, we have so many things in our heart, but still they will accept. But minute we have Radha Krishna, then it's highest. They are not in this mood. We don't pray for anything from Radha and Krishna because they are in the mood of performing pastimes. So that should be dealt with Sri Gaurmata. That should be gone through Sri Gaurmata. We have to submit to Lord Nityananda, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Sudarshan, Sudarshanji. They can take care. Especially Vrajendra Krishna is 24/7 is busy in performing his intense pastimes, deep confidential pastimes. So that's why in general that's how it is approached, and that's why wherever Lord, especially Prabhupada, emphasized that and brought most of the places installed Sri Gaurnatai, Sri Jagannath, obviously Radha Krishna, because you want to set the whole world. Highest goal is Radha Krishna Prem. Obviously, that's why he has established the deity. But along with that, Sri Gaurnatai, most of even in the Western world, even though those places were full of irreligious principles, but still there also Sri Gaurnatai or Lord Jagannath Baldev Sudhamarani established, because so through them they can attain Radha and Krishna. There is no possibility to come to the standard of Radha and Krishna. Worship Radha and Krishna service is very difficult. It is at the highest level. For his great Jamanivas Prabhu, it is very easy because he is naturally spontaneous devotion. He can do. But we are not at his level. We are not constantly thinking of Radha Madhav or Radha Shyamsundar. Then it becomes very difficult to worship or do service to Radha Krishna. But if we take the mercy of Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Sudhamarani, or Sri Gaurnatai, then it becomes much easier. They will tell you, they will direct us. So that is the one way. And then before chanting, we are supposed to sing Samsara Dava. We are supposed to chant Siksha Ashtakam. And we are supposed to feel that connection between the Lord's personal form and our chanting beats. Rupa Goswami's second verse in the Namastaka. Nikila Sluti Ratnamala Duti Rajata Pada Pankajanta Ai Mukta Kulair Arinama Samshrayam. And taking shelter of the holy name, which is non-different from your toenails of the lotus feet of the Lord. These beads, each and every bead is like touching the toenails of the lotus feet of the Lord. You are massaging the lotus feet. In that mood, we have to chant. That's why we cannot pull it so hardly, or we cannot shake it. All these things cannot be done. Because they are personal Lord, so personal form is there, the holy name in the beads. So that's why we have to gently pull it down, one bead at a time down. So that is the ideal way to chant. And before that, we chant Samsara Dava. We take Mangalarti even if we are at home. Attend Mayapur.com, Vrindavan.com, or any other temple or ISKCON temple where Mangalarti. And there are recordings. We watch that 5 minutes a day. Take darshan. Take to this, submit to the Guru, Samsara Dava. And submit to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then through their mercy, then you can start chanting. Then it takes only 5 minutes. As soon as you wake up, you wash your hands and mouth. While you go and come back to sit in the chanting, within 5 minutes or close to 10 minutes maybe, you can finish. Samsara Dava is internal meditation, chanting the 8 verses. And if you don't know, then you put a paper, print out a paper and put it and practice it. If you practice for 7 days or 11, 21 days, you'll get it. And it is not a rocket science. Anybody can practice, remember it. You just do it every day for a few days, then you can practice it. This is the way to chant the holy name of the Lord. While chanting, if at all, if you are sleepy, you stand up and chant, brisk walking and chant, like Sir Prabhupada used to walk and chant in the morning. Like that you can chant. If mind get disturbed, then you can take a look at the Lord's form, and then maybe you can offer your obeisance to Tulsi Maharani and do a pradakshina and submit to her. Please give me strength to chant properly, like that to Acharya, to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, like that. Then you can start chanting. But while chanting, ideally not supposed to be meditating on anything, supposed to focus on hearing only what we are speaking and hearing only, crystal clear. That is what Sri Prabhupada and our Acharyas strictly said it. Only when you are disturbed, then that's when you should look at the form or meditate or read something, and then you pick up the beats again. That is the ideal way. Is that clear?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much. Actually, this question arose because in Bhagavatam class morning session, we are doing Narad Muni and Dhruv Maharaj session. So then Narad Muni instructed to the Dhruv Maharaj that you should, whether it's pulp, wood or any sort of, you should just make a form of a Lord, a Supreme Personality, and then do the meditation. That's why this question arose, Prabhuji.
Yes. But Narad Muni is already elevated by that stage. And the Bhakti Vedanta is already initiated him. They gave them the instructions. They have already talked about the whole 9 yards of Bhakti. And then when they left, when the mother passed away by snake bite, then you'll see that. So Narad Muni is instructing him further. Or even then, in case he is instructing basically to meditate on the Lord's form to begin with, because deity worship is also important. That is another point, which is what chanting of the holy name to be effective to avoid our offenses. Deity worship is also supremely important. It's the second aspect. Even though holy name itself can deliver, it doesn't need anything else. But still, we have to do the deity worship. It is very important because we are touching the Lord, we are blessing the Lord, feeding the Lord. There's a personal connection. In chanting, we are not feeling personal connection. We're not spontaneously feeling that connection. But when you do the deity worship, then gradually that person, through that personal connection to the Lord's mercy, then chanting will help us. Other senses will be more and more pure, then it will help us to be more pure in our chanting. So that's why deity worship, in many purports, you will see that Sri Prabhupada quoting Jiva Goswami and Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur Goswami. That deity worship has to go hand in hand. Narada Pancharatra, that's why even though we are Bhagavat Vidhi we follow, Shravanam and Kirtanam, but Narada Pancharatra is also included because the deity worship is very prominent in our line also along with it. But that is not the prime focus. Prime focus is chanting and hearing. The secondary to be enjoined with that is worship of the deity. So at home or at temple, whenever where possible. Even if you don't have deities, you don't need to keep deities. You have pictures. You can indirectly do it. That is, while seeing the arati, when you come to temple, you are also worshipping the deity. You bring flowers or fruit, or you bring something. Always feel personal connection. Don't come directly to temple without bringing anything. Always feel connected to the Lord. That He is my Lord. He is my Lord and my Master. I have to bring something. What can I serve Him? How can I serve Him today when I come? This should be the feeling. Then you feel the reciprocation. You have to feel in that, personalize it. And bhakti is about personalization. If you don't personalize it, then it becomes difficult. You don't feel connected. In chanting or hearing, you don't feel the taste. Then after some time, it becomes so monotonous, and then you don't want to chant anymore. You don't want to follow any bhakti anymore. So that's why more you personalize it. Each person is different according to your qualities. You can personalize it. And Lord will reciprocate. Acharya will reciprocate. Then in that way, then our chanting also can become more and more tastier, more and more blissful. And not just 16. We will not stop with 16 rounds. We'll chant all the time. So we'll either chant on the fingers or we'll have a counter. We'll always chant. So that is the Vaishnava behavior. Real sadhu means he doesn't stop with 16 rounds. He's always chanting. Whenever he's not doing other things, busy with other things, and he's always chanting. So that is what we have understood from today's discussion also. Always chanting. This is the quality of a real Vaishnava.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. I think we will stop here. We will not take any more questions. 9:26. Time is Krishna. Gone ahead too much already. Okay, thank you for all of your association. Please join today Sunday feast in the evening, 5:30 to 9 p.m. Tomorrow is Purushottam month is starting. So the essence, whatever we heard, we should apply it. 1,000 times benefit. So actual day starts is Tuesday, but always Sankalpa to be taken on Amavasya day. So for devotion service, nothing is bad. Amavasya doesn't matter, Paurnami, whatever day it is. It is the day Purushottam month starts, and August 15th it ends, last day of Amavasya also. So that way we should take Sankalpa tomorrow. Ideally we should sit in front of, in the deity room or in the temple and take that Sankalpa that please give me strength and intelligence to focus on Bhakti and focus on Guru and Krishna only. This is the next 30 days. Sincerely, I can chant by your strength, by your mercy. So in that way we take Sankalpa. Then by their mercy we can actually focus on chanting. So Purushottam month ki jai, and then 8:30 onwards during the Shrine Arati we have the Jagannath Kirtan, Jagannath Ashtakam and Ashtakam. So this is the business in Purushottam month. We are supposed to, just like Damodar month. Austerity you can do whatever you can, but that is not the main practice. Main essence is to increase our chanting. If you are doing some round, increase that if you can. And hearing, reading, those aspects what you can do. Okay, if you are not increasing, at least more, make it more serious practice, more attentive, make it more attentive. If you cannot increase it, that's fine. So, and then we have Bhagavatam class on the temple channel, other place also. And ideal, that is the practice Prabhupada Acharya has given. Morning Bhagavatam, evening Bhagavad Gita, night Krishna. These are three things Prabhupada said, other than chanting the holy name. So we should try our best to use that time in that way, and then so that we can receive the mercy of Prabhupada. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Chandra Srimad Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Shri Gaur jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna. We'll close it today. Hare Krishna.